Want to talk about the players coming up on expiring deals. They signed a lot of one-year
It's a
contracts as
long
well.
list.
There's a long list. There's also a bunch of guys that just have expiring contracts this offseason. Washington with a lot of cap space, with some picks as well. How many of these guys, though, need to be back? There's some big-time contributors that are on this list as well. So we're just going to take a quick gander as well. If you want to hop in, maybe we'll get some of your thoughts as well. 800-636-1067. MGM National Harbor listener lines are open. So let's start. I think there's more impactful guys on the defensive side, Lynell. So let's start defensively.
Yeah.
The number one guy is got to be Bobby Wagner, in my opinion.
To resign, you would say?
Well, he's the number one guy you got to make a decision on, right? Like, are you keeping Bobby Wagner for at least another year? I don't know how many more years he's got left in his career, but
Well,
another 100 tackle campaign. He's an incredible leader. I think in terms of they want to talk about this culture and the different stuff that they're doing, I think Bobby Wagner's been a big, big component of that. You bring in Bobby Wagner back.
Yeah, I would certainly have to think about it, right? Just because of his value to the team. I would say this though about Bobby Wagner. He's the reason, or excuse me, Jordan McGee is waiting in the wings, right? You drafted Jordan McGee to eventually replace Bobby Wagner. My thing is this: Bobby's value to me, as he continues to climb in age, the on-field value dissipates, goes away, right? He's more, the leadership stuff is huge from him.
Correct.
And there's not a price tag that you could put on that. So I don't want to discredit what he brings, but from a football standpoint, I mean, he wouldn't be my number one priority on the defensive side of the football. If this dude can stay healthy, he may be in that second tier of best safeties in the NFL. Jeremy Chinn's playing really good ball right now.
Sure.
And the reason you were able to acquire Jeremy Chinn is because Carolina didn't have any trust that he'd be able to stay healthy and available for 17 weeks. He's done it here in Washington. I mean, from the moment we saw him in training camp, he just looked like a cyborg. He looks like a football player. Started off the season slow. Love his mentality, the fact that he's a starting safety, being a war daddy, crash dummy, going out on special teams the way that he does. I love everything about Jeremy Chinn. That would be my guy in terms of a deep defender that I got to get back under contract. But Bobby Wagner is probably the close second to me. And it's not really about the on-field impact at all.
Yeah.
Because I continue to believe it. I know I get crap for this. While Bobby leads the NFL in tackles, Bobby's clearly a step slow.
I thought Bobby early in the season was not great
No,
in terms of on-field play.
He's
gotten to a point that he's good. He's clearly not Bobby Wagner, the all-pro anymore, right, but he's still a heck of a football player. So to me, he's making 6.5 this year. If he's going to come back for somewhere around that, or maybe even up to like an 8 for a year or two, yeah, I'd bring back Bobby Wagner. And for all the points you made, as well as I think he can still play a little bit. He's not a great linebacker anymore, but I think having that leader is important. But you're right. Jeremy Chinn, in terms of on-field impact, might be the most important guy you've got to bring back. This year, he's making about $4 million, a little bit over that. If you can get him for a nice contract, I think you've got to sign him for 3 to 4 years, bring him back, keep him around, because I think he fits what they want to do, right? He's versatile. If you need him to go back and play safety, he can. He's not great at that, but he can do that. Where he's at his best is when you can bring him up in the box, and this team likes to play single high safety anyways. So if you're going to bring down another safety into the box, I don't know that there's a better option than Jeremy Chinn because of what he can do in the run game, his coverage skills on linebacker or on tight ends. He's kind of like a little bit of a smaller linebacker, essentially, even though this dude is huge.
He's pretty big.
He can play. But, yeah, I mean, it seems like he's gotten more comfortable as the year has gone on. I've been really impressed with Chinn. Been really impressed. Some other guys on that defensive side of the ball that you got to keep an eye on as well that are on expiring contracts, and I'm curious your thoughts on these. 2 defensive ends. Clelin Ferrell was brought in on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And Dante Fowler.
I'll be real about Cle, man. The injury bug with him is tough. Doesn't really make any impact. I'd be hard pressed to re-sign him.
It just depends how much
it wouldn't be a priority. I would say that. I think he's very much replaceable. The Dante Fowler thing is interesting. One, I'm a Dante Fowler stan. When I was coming out of high school, my Twitter account was Dante Fowler Jr. the second, I think is what it was. I wanted to be Dante Fowler. He was awesome. He's was my favorite player when I was in high school. Watching him at Florida, he's just tough. But in reality, 8.5 sacks, on pace for double-digit sacks, you may be outpriced.
That's exactly
somebody may overpay Dante Fowler. And for a guy that, I got to go look it up, I don't think Fowler has received a massive payday in his career. I'm not sure. I would have to go back and look, but it doesn't feel like it.
His career earnings is $66
million.
Yes.
And he was a top 5 pick.
Yeah, so, it doesn't look like he ever got that massive deal.
He got drafted by who? Jacksonville, right?
Got drafted by Jacksonville.
He was a disappointment to start his career.
Correct.
And talking to him a little bit this summer, man, that's why I appreciate with him, man, just a dude that is upfront and honest and genuine with his story. He wasn't preparing the way he needed to. He didn't take it seriously, but he wasn't the mature pro that he is now when he first entered the National Football League. But from an impact standpoint, you can't doubt it. The numbers are good. I said it yesterday on the show, though. I just worry about the way he plays the run. Like, he, to me, is not he's a situational pass
Exactly
rusher.
Right. He's a situational guy. So the biggest contract he signed was back in 2020. 3 for $45 with Atlanta. So that's not chump change.
Yeah, that was DQ that gave him that deal.
Yeah,
so,
and is he the one also as well? I should know this, but he said he wants to stick with DQ.
Oh, that's his man. He said wherever DQ goes, I'm going.
So,
that's literally been it, you know.
So
and think about why his relationship with DQ is what it is, right?
Well, and note where he went after it didn't work out in Atlanta.
And think about, as a top 5 pick,
went to Dallas.
Ego-wise, like, what happens to you when you fail at your original destination?
Yes.
Dan Quinn probably resurrected Dante Fowler's career in terms of pumping that confidence back into him, making him say, hey, look, just because it didn't work in Jacksonville doesn't mean you can't be a premier edge in this league. So I do love that relationship.
Yeah, and so I'm curious, because you're right. Would you bring Dante Fowler back without any context? 100%. There's no question.
He'd be
no question whatsoever. You know, there's, like you talked about, situationally, I prefer him just coming in to rush the passer.
Yeah.
That's what I want him to do. I'm not having him out there all 3 downs. I don't want him stopping the run. I want him just rushing the passer. But at the same point, this is a guy that's probably going to finish with double-digit sacks. I mean, right now he's making 3. Mm-hmm. He's made 3 the last couple of years. You got to think he's getting up into 8, 9, 10.
Maybe
even a little higher than that.
Yeah.
So we can really test that theory that you want to stick with Dan Quinn. Because someone, if he finishes with 11 sacks, someone's going to be willing to pay him probably 10.
I think
somewhere around there.
If you're Fowler, right, at this point in your career, comfortability, continuity, like, that stuff matters, man. And I think the one is the relationship with DQ, but you were out there during camp too and paid a lot of attention to that D-line. Coach Tapp, Sharif, Ryan, they got a tight-knit group there. And I loved it. He made me look like a complete ass, I'm going to be honest with you. Because you know what this dummy said? I questioned Ryan Kerrigan's ability to teach others how to pass rush because he wasn't some pass rush extraordinaire when it comes to having a deep toolbox of moves. But Dante Fowler, first person he credits with his ability to be able to finish this year is who? Ryan Kerrigan. So I think that part of it is interesting as well. I guess we didn't – how much of the age thing do you think plays a factor in it with him?
Well, he's 30. He's not 33. You know,
right.
Like, he's 30. So
does it impact what type of deal you get? More of a 2. He looks to me. He's the perfect candidate for a 2-year.
Exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not
deal.
Getting a 5-year deal with someone worth $60 million or something like that.
Yeah.
But I could see him signing a 2 or 3-year deal, whether it's here or somewhere else. So yeah, I think it does play it in that factor. I don't know that it drives the price tag down a whole lot. It just kind of shortens the length of the deal. Some of the other guys that are going to be free agents on the defensive side of the ball, your boy, Benjamin St. Juste, he's going to be a free agent.
I'm bringing him back. yeah, I said it. Arms out wide, chest poked out. I think that with proper coach, hear me out, bro. Seriously, hear me out. I think that with proper coaching, you can see him evolve into a decent CB2. Let me put it to you like this. Last year, with Brent Wieselmeyer coaching him, right, defensive backs for dummies, Ron's buddy, he regressed. This year, he's gotten better under the tutelage of Jason Simmons, Joe Witt Jr., You don't bank on him continuing to ascend. He's young, dude. This is my thing about Juice. He's 27. I gotta give him a 2-year deal, 1-year deal, prove it deal.
How much are you paying him? That to me is the thing.
That's where it gets interessante, my friend.
Well, and that's where it's interesting because how much is he going to get on the open market? Because if you're going to pay him just a little bit, and I'm drafting a corner, by the way.
I'm not saying don't draft a corner.
I don't want him to be CB2. I want him to be CB4.
Let him compete. And the thing I love about this organization and this staff, they're going to let you compete. The damn cooks are competing to see who's got the best steak. The janitors are competing to see whose floor is the tidiest. Like that. Yeah. That's the type of environment that they've fostered over there. But I think with Juice, man, he's a guy that I continue to try to let grow. As we talked about yesterday, it's not like he's just god awful. And I know that's what some of you think. And Jeff, as soon as I brought up Benjamin St.
I'm not even going
to Jeff put his headset on. You know what I mean, though. Like, he gets it a lot, bro.
Yeah,
he gets a bad rap. He reads the internet too much. That's what I said yesterday.
He gets a bad rap because it's always the most crucial moment.
I know.
It's like he's that kid that always laugh when you're not supposed to laugh.
Wow.
And it just happens. But you right, Lynell. You got Lattimore in there now. That's another similar tall corner.
That can also help him.
Yeah, you know? But it's just how long you gonna call it? Like, how long are you gonna make play? It's not even making a play. How long are you gonna dysfunction at the most critical moment in the game?
To the point where, right, he gives up the big touchdown to Mike Williams against Pittsburgh. Outside of that, he played really damn good against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he gave up the game-winning touchdown. Great game, man.
Where was the pass rush?
They didn't need a pass rush. That was straight drop back and throw.
Exactly.
He gave you 10 yards of cushion.
No, I know. I'm
gonna say, Lynell, you could have ran past him on that one.
Oh my gosh! Well,
Mike Evans don't even know who his mailman is yet in Pittsburgh.
The other point, like, after that game, I don't remember. He said in the locker room, "Yeah, I was trying to do too much." What are you doing, dude? Do your job.
I told you he's in his head.
Yeah, then fix that. To me, look, Benjamin St. Juste can come back if he wants. I ain't signing you for a lot of money, and you ain't gonna be CB2. You want to be CB4, rotate in? You want to be Michael Davis? Feel free. Michael Davis is a free agent as well. I think we both know.
Michael Davis need to get his CDL. That's what Mike Davis need to do. Mike Davis need to come drive the bus for DC public schools.
Here's another free agent that I'm curious your thoughts on.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Igbinoghene.
I like Noah I.
I like
depth
Noah
piece, I. Key depth piece. If somebody goes down, boom, Noah I in the slot.
I agree. And I think it gives you also the chance that if you need a backup slot where I think long-term they're going to move Mikey back inside. We had this discussion yesterday about who goes. But Mikey's going to go back inside long-term. But if something were to happen where, say, Lattimore or whoever is CB2, not Benjamin St. Juste next year, goes down and Mikey needs to slide back outside, I think Igbinoghene sliding back in the slot as being your fourth or fifth corner. He helps you on special teams as well.
Sure.
I think he'd be nice to have as well.
If you look at some of the advanced analytics, too, on Noah I, he doesn't allow a lot of separation. The raw separation metrics from PFF actually, speak to his game being pretty damn good.
And I know he's not, he's not a household name. People forget this dude was a first-round pick.
Come on, man.
He's a first-round pick. He's got talent.
So that's what I'm saying. I like what Washington has in the secondary. Seriously. Like, I genuinely like the depth.
I mean, they have a bunch of CB3s.
The top, well, now that Marshawn is now getting inserted, you now have the top-end talent that you needed. But I think when we go back and look at it as season's end, the safety duo of Quan Martin and Jeremy Chinn, major positive in maybe the best Ron Rivera draft pick. Martin.
Stop.
Who else is Ron draft? I'm being funny when I say that.
Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah. He drafted Cam Curl, too. Well, Ron doesn't get credit for the first draft. I forgot. That was a Kyle Smith exclusive.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
So.
It's a waste of time is what it is.
Well, yeah, it is.
I don't want to give Ron credit for anything. Other than Jaden Daniels. He didn't draft him, but
put us in position.
He sucked so bad that we got Jaden.
We can be eliminated?
I'm so done with it.
Like, he's the worst, bro.
Talking about guys that are going to be free agents this upcoming season for Washington, guys on the final year of their deal. Do they need to be brought back? and which guys need to be prioritized. We talked about a couple of the defensive guys. Bobby Wagner is going to be up for a contract. Jeremy Chinn, Cleveland Farrell, Dante Fowler, a couple other notable names.
Can we
Benjamin
reset that one real quick? Who is your guy that you're saying he better be back? If you could choose one, and you're going to say, I'm paying him.
That's a tough one because
on defense,
the top two we talked about, I think it's Chinn.
So you think it's between Chinn and
Wagner
and Wags,
and you got to decide whether it's on field or leadership culture stuff. Which one are you prioritizing?
Yeah.
I would lean Wagner personally, even though Chinn has more impact on the field. I think what Wagner's been able to do has been spectacular. I personally would lean Wagner. Which side for you?
It's tough because I don't want to. It's hard because I do understand how impactful the leadership part is. He gave the speech before the Titans game.
And real quick,
went out, whooped ass.
Real quick, too, the other part about bringing Wagner in and keeping him is it allows Luvu to be the heat-seeking missile. You're going to have to find, if you let go of Wagner, you have to find another true Mike linebacker.
Jordan McGee.
It might be Jordan McGee. But
Jordan McGee can play,
whoever
man.
it is, you got to let someone be that guy to allow Frankie Luvu to be unlocked. So
I'm sad about the Jordan McGee injury because he would have been a part of this defense. In camp, he was running at times with the ones when they went three backers. So it was unfortunate to see the Wagner part with the pregame speech. To me is I don't need no more John Allen doing this bit, doing the clapping, trying to motivate guys.
But he's sick of this stuff.
Yeah, sick of him not being able to get off double teams. Him and Deron Payne, those bank robbing Bama boys. Joking. Not really. But yeah, I'd probably lean Chinn though. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't blame you at all.
I'd probably lean Chinn just because I think
bit.
Chinn's on his way to being one of the better safeties in football. So I think having him here, getting continuity, another year in this defense. It'd be hard to let Bobby go. I don't think Bobby goes and plays anywhere else, though, right?
No, that's the tough part. I think he wants to be with Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, the only place he would go back to is Seattle just for old time's sake, it feels like. And
it'd be perfect timing right now.
I feel like for him, he enjoys being with DQ, and I think he enjoys if this team were what we expected them to be and they were at this point sitting there with 4 wins, I think Bobby Wagner would be hanging it up.
Yeah.
But I think for the fact that they are where they are and Wagner could maybe have one more chance at winning something.
It keeps you young.
As something that really you had a hand in.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm keeping both of them if I have my choice, but
of course.
Number one's probably Wagner. You said you got someone, Jeff? Who's your top dude?
Mine was Chinn, bro.
Yeah.
And that's me. I know you off the field, it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bobby talking back to them guys, getting them, aligned and coming out for Dan. And that's great. But Chinn, it shows on the field.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's one of the guys that all right, the Commanders are playing. I can guarantee you I'm going to get a play from Chinn.
Yep.
I guarantee you I'm gonna get a play from Frankie. I gotta go with Chinn. Somebody, I guarantee you, if Chinn was to get out, somebody will wrap him up so quick.
Big time.
And he's a playmaker too.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you can call Bobby that at this point in his career. Chinn is a playmaker.
The ironic part, this is where y'all gonna try to shoot bow and arrows at me. The ironic part about us having this conversation, Chinn got torched by Chigakonkwo on Sunday. Chink was giving Jeremy Chinn the blues.
But he's not a coverage guy. Let's be real.
But play devil's advocate here. What type of contract are you? Is he worth the top of the market safety contract?
No.
Is he's in that mid tier probably, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but I think he's got the potential to get to.
If we're asking top dollar, yeah. I mean, you've seen it. What's he been in the league? 5 years? 4 years? And
same class as Chase Young. So 2020.
Yeah. So this would be his 5th year, right? Because they didn't. You've seen it 2 out of 5 years. So you've seen it 40% of his career, right? Like the first year he was darn near rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
This year he's been really, really good. So I don't think he gets a huge contract in terms of top of the market, but yeah, he's going to get a pretty payday for what he's done this year.
Is
800-636-1067. You want to hop in on the MGM National Harbor listener lines. I want to talk offense in just a second, but first let's get some phone calls.
I've never taken a call from this guy before. He don't call during my slots. Commander Tequila.
Commandante.
What's going on, bro?
Hey,
man?
guys. How you doing? Oh, I would do this. All right, hear me out. I would resign all of them. to a 2-year contract with a 3-year optional because we're doing so good this year. All right. We only have one problem right now is catching that damn ball. That's it. Okay. Yeah, we got flags here and there from our CB, but then he's doing his job too as well. How many CBs not get flagged and not doing their job?
You already started sipping? Have you already consumed tequila today, Commander Tequila?
Oh, every morning, brother. I get out work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Is he serious, Jeff? Is he calling every day?
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning, right? That's what they say.
What they say is 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Commander Tequila, we appreciate your call, bro.
Appreciate it, Commandante. I got one from the chat here.
Yeah.
Deborah says, bring back Sam Hartman.
Huh, for the ladies. Slinging Sammy Hartman. That's one bit I got to stop. I can't just put slinging in front of every guy that's named Sam. It's not fair to the real slingers out there.
Yeah, like
the real slingers of America.
I do like Sam Hartman.
Yeah.
He was a butt of a few of my jokes at training camp.
Well, I'm not going to pull a Danny Rouillet and tell you how handsome I think he is, but
he's a great quarterback if you're just going for looks. We'll put it that way.
He's a good friend as well.
He's
Jaden's best friend.
Well, he's in a great spot.
Yeah.
He's a perfect spot. You're best friends with the stud quarterback, and they're going to try to keep him around for that reason. Yeah, good spot to be in. Strategic friendship. Good job, Sammy.
Let's go to Reese. Reese's or Reese? Reese's? Reese's in St. Mary's.
Yeah. I got a little spin with it. Hit me out a little bit. I'm signing 90% of them back, but I'm getting rid of Javon Payne and Allen because this is the reason. Because we got so caught up in what Aaron Donald did that we don't got we need to go back and go get Syracuse and Adams, 350s to shut down the run, push the pocket, and I'm signing everybody back except them two because they ain't gonna say they garbage, but they don't do what the money they got, and we will be able to use their money, huh?
That's 100% valid for what they're getting paid to do. They don't do it.
They can't even beat. What gets me is they can't. In their game, you're gonna see somebody show out one game out the year. You'll never see Jerome Payne or Allen show out damn, they won that game for us. Damn, they created something. Come on, man. I mean, I can go out and do what they doing.
Yeah, I mean, what Jalen Carter did to this team shows you what a defensive tackle can do when they're wrecking a game. And the last time we saw that with Daron Payne was before he got paid. And John Allen hadn't done that in a long time. The problem is they do this all the time in training camp for a couple of periods every single training camp. They dominate this offensive line, but then they face another team in other colors and they don't feel like showing up.
Yeah, because number one, they don't have the weight. We need to go get Syracuse and Adams,
That's not the scheme, though. That's just not what this scheme wants. They want.
We got to shut down the run. To beat the Eagles, not to cut you off. To beat the Eagles, we got to shut down the run.
That's 100% valid.
I hear you.
Great phone call. Yeah,
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. I just think in this scheme, right? They drafted Mozzie Smith last year in Dallas.
Yeah,
Mozzie's not a space eater. Mozzie's a get up field, twitched up type of guy. That's what they
also
want.
Sucks.
Yeah, he's terrible.
The other thing too, I don't want to get carried away with where they're at. We're gonna get to the offensive side in just a second. Where they're at, it's gonna be nice to keep some of these guys, but some of these people are calling in saying keep all of them. You can also upgrade. You've got a lot of cash. So we're talking about a Benjamin St-Juste. If they don't keep Benjamin St-Juste and keep his, 4, 5, 6, whatever he's going to make and throw that on to some other legit corner in free agency, I'd prefer that over BSJ or Igbinoghene or, Chinn and Wagner are different in those scenarios. But if we're looking at maybe even a Fowler, is it do you keep the 8 that you were going to give Fowler and go get a legit 3-down edge rusher? Yeah. So they've got a lot of cap space that they don't have to just feel like we got to keep our own guys. They can also upgrade at those positions.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing, too, about edge rusher and offensive line in free agency, those guys normally don't hit free agency if they're legit. So buyer beware is what I would say
100%
on some of those positions.